Let me know when we're ready.
We are rolling.
All right, I'm John V. I'm from New York City. I'm going to call myself an LRG vet, so I'm definitely going to win because I see a lot of newbies and a lot of people who watch me play, buddy up with them, cut their throats. I'm being cold-hearted. I really have to take a leak and a shit right now, so I need to find the restroom. And then, that's it. I'm just going to divide and conquer. That's what I'm here for. Brooklyn, we out.
Who'd you get?
I got Dallas. Dallas is one thing that really stood out to me was hope. Hope is such a big thing in life, and I have a lot of hope.
Welcome to Surviving Bloomington Season 6. You all are our cast.
Hey, I'm Matthew, I'm 40 years old, and I'm an artistic director from Austin, Texas. So as an artistic director, I have a lot of experience working with highly motivated, passionate, intelligent people. So I'm gonna use that early on to hopefully get a team together to make our way to the merge. After that, I'll have to pull out all the stops. What I'm most nervous about is actually voting people out. This is such a unique situation where you're forming relationships, but I'm a pretty emotional person, so it's going to be hard for me to vote people out. I hope to play a really straightforward game, make some great bonds, but if ever my back's against the wall, I will steal, cheat, lie to make it happen to stay in the game, so we'll see.
First off, I want to congratulate all of you for being here. This is not an easy experience. I've done this 6 times now. I've played games. What you're about to go through is gonna suck. I say it's like getting a tattoo. It sucks in the moment, but after it's finished, you want to do it again. So just take a moment to congratulate yourselves that you're stepping into this extremely uncomfortable environment.
I'm Rachel. I think I've had heart palpitations since like 4 a.m. when I woke up this morning, left around 5 from Dayton, Ohio, and here we are. It's really fun, this like downtime of kind of getting to know people in like a little bit of a safer environment. So I've really liked the people I've talked to so far. Matthew's standing out to me. Tyler's standing out to me. So far I've connected well with them, just in normal conversations. When I was reviewing the cast, I didn't do a ton of research because I wanted to come in just fresh and get to know people in person. But this cast just has a stacked vibe. I just feel like I am playing with some of the best, and I have a little imposter syndrome, so my goal is to fake it until I make it.
Only one of you is gonna have a perfect outcome from this thing. The other 17 of you are gonna feel disappointment, and all of you are gonna feel disappointment at some point. I specifically designed this game to send all of you on an emotional roller coaster. I do that on purpose, and that is why you are brave.
Hi, I am Drew. I am 27 years old. I live in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I work in emergency room pharmacy in a hospital. I'm a little nervous about my mouth and my face because I am really bad at hiding what I think on my face. If I am upset with someone, it will show. If I think something, it generally comes out of my mouth before I have time to fully process it in my head. So those are going to be the things that are going to get me in trouble.
I do want to warn you all that this is going to be a brutal pre-merge. This is the hardest game that I have designed yet, so you all need to start mentally preparing yourselves for that. This is not going to be an easy experience.
Why am I on the Chaos Tribe? Like, I know I'm talented, I know I'm good looking, I know I'm all these things, but I can't understand or fathom why I'm on the Chaos Tribe. I love peace, but then I love pain. So, I'm like an anti-hero. That's not necessarily chaos, that's just fun. That's just fun.
This is Surviving Bloomington Season 6, Order versus Chaos. Survivors ready?
Yes.
Go! We ready?
Ready.
All right. For a chance to move on to the final puzzle of this round. Survivors ready?
Yep.
Go! All right. Here we are at the final 5. Big Matt, you can come on over. Individual immunity is back up for grabs. For today's challenge, there's going to be 2 waves of puzzles. The first 2 people to complete this puzzle will move on to the next puzzle. The way this works is in front of you, you have a cube ball maze. You have to get the ball to the end, and when you get there, the top will pop off, and inside is one of those green marbles from the War Challenge this morning. Does everyone remember what those look like? The first 2 people to get their green marbles in that bowl on top of there, on top of the log, move on to the final round of puzzles. Make sense?
Can I have blue? Just right there.
All right.
Yeah.
For this puzzle, you're building a standing tree. It's a classic CBS Survivor puzzle. If you watch a lot of CBS, you probably recognize it. First person to build it, you're building it standing up. First person to successfully get all of their pieces in place wins immunity. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No.
All right. Survivors ready?
Ready.
Go!
breathe, 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 calm, calm. I'm so zen, I'm so calm, I'm not at all freaking out about getting this to stay standing. Drew, we are community!
Once again, this immunity necklace likes you.
And I like it.
You will be in the final four. You have nothing to worry about this round. Unfortunately for the other four of you, one of you will be the next member of our jury. You can grab your stuff, head on out.
I need deodorant so badly, y'all.
I have it. I swear. It's going to be applied.
Man, Final Five is crazy. I didn't know how I was going to fare on that maze. I'm glad that I was able to do it against some really strong competitors. Me and Drew, pretty epic that it was the two of us facing off. I tried to stay really zen and concentrate, but he's just super fast. He's a huge threat in the game, so I thought he was just physical and social. He's also mental. So, of course, he has immunity again. I tried to gain some, player respect with him by not voting him out, but trying to cut off who I thought was the person he was closest to, Brady. So, I am going to try to pitch to him, a mutual respect, but I've also told him, I know probably for his game it's best to vote me out.
Well, I've been having very candid conversations with people. I think it's probably best for your game to vote me out.
I'm not ruling anything out, but right now it's definitely tipping that way.
Right on, and that makes sense. We just ever since that tribal that I like. So.
It's not even because of that. It's because I think you have a really good story with the jury.
Yeah.
You came in, you were on the bottom, you had a really big play. You guys were able to pull together the McKinsey thing.
I've been telling everybody that it's probably best for them to vote me out, but that both with John, Rachel, and Tyler, that I want to go to the end with them. So the only problem is I think several of them, all of them maybe, want to go to the end with Drew. So that keeps coming up and I don't understand that.
Tyler and John are both seemingly pushing for a final three of me, Tyler, and John. And we've met up, the three of us have met up every single round since merge, basically, and been like, this is the three, this is the three.
What I'm pitching right now is because I think that my final two promises that I made are strongest with John, because we made that on day one. And Tyler, I've been adamant about telling him straight up that I want to work with him. We didn't really believe each other, but we've rebuilt some trust in the last two votes.
I agree. We've had a funnel. Forever. I also know that I've made moves in the game that it might benefit your game to get rid of it, and I'm not going to ask you to
I don't think of what, because it's a final.
Right.
I feel like you've made moves, yeah, but there's also a lot of moves I made. So I feel like we kind of balance each other out. And Drew has won a lot of competitions. So if I went to Final 3 with 2-3, it's based on the jury, and I feel like we all kind of equally burned some people. Like me and you burned Little Matt,
yeah,
the McKenzie thing. It's certain things. So it's Drew might get those, right?
Yeah.
But then there's people he burned that we might get.
So unfortunately, I think my vote is going to be Rachel right now, which I'm pretty conflicted about. But unfortunately, even though we've been bonding more, and I did want to take her to the finals, but then McKinsey got in the mix, and that kind of went to But then when she was willing to vote Mackenzie out, then that kind of opened the door again. It's just not as strong as the bond with the other two players.
So, I accidentally helped Drew find an immunity idol. It was right there. He was going, let's go to the woods. I was like, no, let's go down this path. I went there earlier, I want to look at it again. And I said, ooh, I think there could be something in this tree. And I like looking in it, and I was like, oh no. And Drew goes, nope, but there's something here. Pulls out a freaking crown.
The tea is, I also just found a hidden immunity idol. I'm not pulling out the note because there are people who can somewhat see me, but I have an idol. The last time it can be played is at the Final 5 Tribal Council. I think I'm going to play it regardless of if it's actually correctly used or not, because I like the element of it being flashy.
So it's like, at this point, I'm just like, crown him now. Like, crown him now. Like, you got it. Oh, I'm so mad. Like, obviously I had no idea that there were even idols in this game. I was down in that path earlier before this last tribal with Matt, so it's like crazy that Matt and I would have both missed it.
I'm also a little bit worried about the idol. I trust Rachel a lot, but Rachel was with me when I found it and knows I have it. So I will need to meet up with her again to figure out like what we're gonna do with it. I don't think she'll need it used on her because no one's looking at her right now. Yeah, so Rachel knows. It'll be interesting to see if any of the other three, the guys, come up to me and ask about it, because that would mean obviously Rachel leaked something.
Rachel just told me that Drew found an idol. And so, that's big time.
Drew has an actual idol. Probably the only idol in the game, and it's the only time you can play it.
But my debates right now are, do I tell John? Because John is my number one. John and Rachel, I'm like juggling being my number one. And I don't want John to feel blindsided with me whipping out an idol and using it on someone. But he blindsided me with the Mackenzie vote, so maybe that's useless.
He really has an idol. Alright, so
That's what Rachel told me.
Alright, so if you and Rachel do Matt, and I do Rachel, and he does me and you, it's a 3-way tie, right?
Yeah.
Or 2-way tie, because
Yeah.
he gets immunity.
Yeah.
And then
But I think he's gonna do Rachel.
So we're at the final 5, and I do not feel too confident. I have a final 3 with Tyler and Rachel, and then I also have a final 3 with Tyler and Drew, and then I also have a final 3 with Matt and Drew, or Matt and Tyler. My biggest thing right now is I have to make sure Rachel is sold on the fact that Big Matt needs to go, A, because they can win immunity challenges, B, the jury is fond of them. They're really empathetic, they go with their words. I don't know if Matt has something like an advantage, or if Drew has an advantage, and they just might be trying to fuck me or Tyler over, or you over. Like, I've been working with you the whole game. I think if me, you, and Tyler make final 3, you all
Yeah, you have a decent shot. It's
you
just
have a
a matter
decent
of
shot.
Drew.
We're not gonna be Drew in the finals, and we're not gonna be Matt. You're not gonna be Matt. So I hope you stay loyal to us too, because I told you I have your back.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Me, I burnt everyone on the pre-jury mostly, and everyone on the jury except one person. So like, I need her to really understand that. And it doesn't matter if Drew goes to the next round. It's us 4. It's 3 versus 1 person. If 3 of us snag a victory, the other 2 are gonna just vote that other person out. I did find out that Drew has idol, and Drew, being a gamer, might make a big move and play that idol on Big Matt because he thinks that's where we're leaning. So I might have to burn a vote on Rachel. Ty is gonna throw a vote at Big Matt. Rachel's gonna throw a vote at Big Matt. Drew might throw a vote on one of us. The idol gets played, it gets tied up, and then we do a revote. So knowing that Drew has the idol is a big deal. Yeah, I knew there was one out there. I just thought I was gonna find it, but yeah, it's like math, and I hate math. So like, let's see how this works out.
It's Matt's demeanor is giving me flashbacks to the round where he played the 6 keys.
Yeah.
And because Casey at the last tribal asked about idols, I'm wondering if he has an idol and he's just gonna shoot out one of you, Tyler, or Rachel.
Now everyone, I think, is scared that I have an advantage. So they're like, okay, like keys were, stop at 6 people. Do you think there's an idol? And I was like, if there is, I think John or Drew have it. And they're like, oh, okay. I was like, but usually those are played final 5, so it could happen.
And I'm not saying that that's definitely something. I'm just saying it's something to think about.
So I need to tell him I'm gonna do Rachel, but we're putting on him. That's the only thing. So if he does,
Well, he's voting. He told me he's voting Rachel, but like obviously he could be lying and he could just throw one on you. And if he pulls out an idol, then you're gone.
Maybe I should vote for someone and then use an idol on them just to like, so they feel indebted to me or something for like, I don't know. We'll see.
Obviously, since the two of us are talking, at Final Four, if Rachel wins immunity, then like we have to do Tyler, and then we have to do our best to fight against Rachel at the Final 3 thing. And I will say, I think at Final 3, Tyler's probably going to pull a lot of stuff out to try to throw us under the bus if he can, but I think it'll be fun. So
I think there's probably more behind the scenes stuff that we don't know that I think the jury people are gonna like pull out on Tyler.
My fear is that jury hates me. But that doesn't mean I can't win. I just need them to hate some more people. And if I can get 2 other people that they may hate, then that's fine. I don't think Rachel's gonna get as much hate. I don't know what can happen at Final Four. Maybe that'll be the time to cut the leash off Rachel. And I don't mind doing that. It's gonna suck, but it is what it is, right? Yeah, the jury just dislikes me, but I have so much love for them, and they all said to me, I want to be your number 1. So I have to choose my path to who could be my number 1 or my number 2. I can't all tell me that and then hate me because I'm not the number 1. You have to understand that. So I'm just gonna tell them that, and I'm gonna be honest, and I will throw anybody under the bus who's sitting next to me and be like, yeah, well, we didn't promise number 1s, but this is how it went. This is why you went home. This is why I outplayed you. And I played a hard game, a tough game, an emotional game, but I think I played the best game.
My worry, I think if we get rid of Matt this round, I think at Final Four you're probably fine. I think I probably have a little bit more to worry about at 4.
You kidding me? You can't. You wouldn't have to.
Why?
Because either you would win immunity or whatever. And
What if Rachel wins? That sucks.
we're still good?
Yeah, we have been since the beginning. Yeah.
You have to figure out John and Rachel. What force you time?
Oh, true.
That's what the issue.
Maybe I should go talk to John. I'm tired of practicing. I'm gonna hurt my hand before I have to actually do the real thing. If you want to practice, feel free.
Like I don't want Drew to blindside me like voting with Matt. What if Drew and Matt vote together? And if they'll vote on either me, you, or Tyler, that's 2.
What? Say it again.
If Drew and Matt vote together,
Yeah.
they could put 2 votes on either of us.
I don't think they're gonna vote me.
So then it's gonna be 2 on me.
I don't think they're gonna do that though. I think you're getting paranoid.
I mean, it's Final 5s. Like I want to secure my 30.
I think in real life I lack confidence in myself and I doubt myself. And so it's tempting like to get bogged down with like, yeah, if Drew makes Final 3, like it's over, but I'm just gonna make myself fight for it. I'm just gonna be confident, and I don't think I've been dragged along, and I think these boys have underestimated me, and I think even potential jury members have underestimated me. And I think I can make them see I play the game, and I had to make hard strategic decisions that involved voting people out that I really held dearly, but it was getting me to the end.
3-in-1 shots and beat one person. 3 versus 1.
Yeah.
And if one of us wins
You just gotta beat Drew, that's all.
yeah, one of us
Otherwise, King Drew wins.
which he's gonna have
I'm
the
still
best
gonna
story.
fight my butt for it though. I don't
Yeah,
care.
he's gonna have the best story because basically he was what first voted real quick and now he come back to the final 3.
Yeah, but like, yeah, you might mention that, and that's a good underdog, but I feel like I have a better underdog story. And it's like, on one hand, like, he always had power, so it made his game easy. Like, the big thing he has is his challenge threat, and I do think he does play a very good game. So I just need to start thinking of like cracks in his game that I can try to.
In retrospect, do you think it was smarter to get rid of Brady last one and not him?
Well, we didn't know he was screwing us with the keys, but I was more concerned with Brady's coins because she had so much, and so if she was gonna get like some huge advantage in Final Four, like that was a threat to me that I
don't think she would have even been able to make fire with a lighter.
But we don't know what it is, like.
Yeah, we don't know.
So.
But they are fire tokens, or did he not use that terminology? Because
I don't remember, but they were like, she had a lot. So in my mind, what I came to it, I had to do that to eliminate her having advantages in a Final Four challenge to better my shot.
That makes sense.
So.
That makes sense.
I'm trying to figure out the jury management thing because I think myself and John have both maybe irritated a lot of the jurors. Tyler, I have no idea where the jury stands on Tyler. Rachel is very likable. I think the jury really likes her, and Rachel would have a good underdog story of, you know, being able to do whatever it takes to stay in round after round when her name is always the backup vote. I'm a little bit worried about the coin situation because last round I had to play super cool and I told everyone I had the 5 keys, so I didn't go looking for coins. I told them I was just going to sit at camp and eat and drink and be happy. And I did, so I didn't look for coins at all last round. I have, I believe, a bag with 2 coins. I haven't opened it yet. Yeah, there's 2 in here. But everybody thinks I have 0 at the moment. Actually, it might be 3. It's 3. John and Tyler are both claiming to have 6. Brady got voted out with 12. I don't know about Matt or Rachel, so I might try checking in with him. Matt's not going to tell me. I might get Rachel to tell me, but I'm a little worried. We think it might be a challenge advantage at the Final Four, and if that's the case, I have the least, so I'm going to have to really fight through that challenge because I'm an easy cut at 4. Fallen Angel, not the vibe for me. Winner is the vibe for me, so let's make it happen.
Me and Rachel have been under the radar the entire time. And we finally are in the perfect opportunity to get a big threat out. And I think we're going to be in the final 3 regardless. So I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling happy. I haven't won any immunities. Maybe this will help me win the final immunity to finally put that on my resume. But, you know, I still think it's a social game. And I think that I have enough of I almost got the final piece of the board or the puzzle locked in to finally crown myself as the sole survivor.
So they might try to do a big move if they know we're all voting Matt and play the idol on Matt. So I think that might happen. So I'm gonna rogue my vote and throw it on Rachel. Things are getting spooky. It's Final 5. It's like no place to hide. It's like go out, perform. If you can't perform, but I hope you have the numbers. And I feel like I've been trying to keep my numbers, so I'm hoping we stay unified. If they throw it on me or Tyler, we already are expecting the idol play, so we're gonna try to lock it up. And then we'll just keep re-voting. And I doubt anybody's gonna want to go to rocks. So once that pressure's on, let's see who folds first.
All right, so here we are at the final 5. Big congratulations to all 5 of you. Big Matt, all of you have been in a group of 5 at a tribal council before, and here you are again. How is this round different than the last time you were in with a group of 5?
Lots of dynamic conversations happening, but a lot of the conversations were focused on who do you want to be at the end with, threat level in different realms of like strategic, physical, social, mental, and also who's on the jury.
Tyler, how do you gauge threat level in this game?
Threat level could be perceived by anyone in any shape or form, so I don't worry about how anybody else's perception is about that other than mine. And however I feel about my threat level is how I feel about who I should work with at the end of the game.
So, Rachel, looking at this final 5 and then looking at this jury, are you kind of starting to go through and think who has what votes from the jury and start thinking even about your own in-game speech, or are you still just trying to get there?
I mean, I'm not really thinking about who the jury would vote for, because I think most of them would wait till final tribal council and hear everyone's perspective and explanation of what happened. So I would hope they would come with open ears. So I'm not assuming anyone's voting for anyone. I'm sure there are people like there that have preferences or might have it narrowed down to who they would, but I'm personally not thinking like, oh, this person's doing this person, this doing. I'm not going down that line. Yeah, I'm still trying to get to final 3, but at the same time, I'm thinking if it happens, what would I say? I have thought about that.
Drew, do you feel like there's a majority group within this group of 5, or what was camp life like back there? Was it scrambling? Was it obviously these people versus these people? Is there one person on the outs? What's going on?
I would definitely not say scrambling is accurate. I think there were definitely conversations that happened, but like for me, the whole last round, I didn't do anything. I didn't look for the coins at all. So this whole round I got back to camp and was like, yeah, I'm spending this whole time looking for coins since I have immunity. There were still, of course, talks that were had. I don't think at this point it's necessarily a majority alliance that has like held and is like finishing, picking off one person or whatever. I think at this point you have to look at the end game. At this point you can't play round by round anymore because there are only 2 rounds left. So you have to look at the end game and work backwards instead of working forwards.
John B., Drew mentioned the coins that are going to be turned in after this tribal council. What's your perspective on that? Do you have any theories about what it might be, and how much have people been looking for them?
Well, we did come up with like a theory, I guess like a group theory. They're fire coins, so it might be Final 4 fire making challenge, where one person wins immunity, and the more coins you have, the more equipment you have. Maybe more kindling or dry wood, or it might be some body weights in the finale, or it could be anything. I think I know who has the most, but none of that is a factor to me right now. I'm just trying to survive this round. Gotcha.
All right, before we get to the vote, I'd like to ask, does anybody else have anything they want to say?
I do. You guys know I'm a pretty direct communicator. I do have an advantage that the night that you all left, I spent the night looking for advantages. And this is the last time I can use it. It's called instant replay. And so if I play it correctly and I'm the vote out, it's an instant replay of tribal council, and you go back to tribal council by having you. So it's not an idle per se, but it's an advantage. So you can vote me now, and then scramble late. I don't know if we'll be able to talk. I just want to give you guys the opportunity to talk with each other.
Tyler, what are you thinking whenever he brings up this idea of an instant replay advantage?
We're concerned because we've never heard of an advantage like that before. But Matt is a good player, and I don't think any plan should be changing.
Rachel, what's going through your head hearing about that and then seeing Drew kind of, I guess because he's wearing the necklace, feel safe enough to get up and talk to people?
I'm just like admiring that. Like, yeah, get it. Like what a play. So I'm just impressed.
Rachel.
I know.
So Matt, you're clearly not afraid to make tribals live. You've done this a few times now. If this is an advantage, what made you want to hold on to it until now?
Well, I knew I was in trouble, and I was, like I said, I was an outcast. So I spent the whole night looking for advantages. Like they kind of gave that to me. I spent the night drinking the juice, eating the food, burning the firewood. They gave me the time to look for advantages.
I agree.
I feel like I have a kind of good understanding of the social dynamics of the game. Just because I've been an outcast, I can kind of see what's happening. But also, I had really direct conversations with him today about, like, I know it's probably best for your game to vote me out. But I also had those conversations when I was going to be voted out before to see who was telling the truth and who was lying. Now I have a good idea about how this vote would go and who was telling me the truth and who was lying again. But I also wanted to give everyone a chance to play the best game that they could.
I also think Matt played his cards too early. I also have an advantage, or it could be a disadvantage to someone who has an advantage. And I guess we'll see. We're gonna find out what happens.
John B, people are starting to pull out advantages now. Here we are at the final five, the last time advantages can be played. What's going through your head? Because we haven't seen anything other than safety keys up until this point.
I mean, I've been suspecting this the whole game. It can't just be keys. I don't know any Survivor game that never had an idol or an advantage or disadvantage or steal a vote. There's things out here. Them two might very well have one of those things I'm speaking of. Or they might just be bluffing. We don't know.
Yeah, I'm really curious what the advantage is.
I'm thinking, I already know where I'm voting.
I know that, I know part of your narrative is being the outcast, but like, I don't think being an outcast is like, how do you play that into your social game? Like, I'm just curious of like, I mean, I think it's like this beautiful narrative that you keep doing it. Like, I truly am in awe, but I'm just curious, like, is there not really, like, any one of us that you would have felt like to use that with? Like, I feel like I was honest with you, so I would hopefully like value that.
Right. Like I discussed, we've had like discussions of going to the finals together, and it was here, and then it went another direction and came back. There's other people I had discussions with that have been more consistent with me, and that's kind of where I landed on that. And so when I say outcast, some of that was strategic. I purposely pulled back so I could see who's talking to who, and I think that it's kind of served me well.
All right. Well, it certainly seems like there's some added paranoia to this vote at the final five, which only makes sense with a group like this, especially with 3 original Chaos and 2 original Orders. And with that, I'm very curious to see how this vote goes. We'll start with John B and zigzag through.
I'm pretty sure it's not me, which is crazy to say at a final five.
I want you to think of something funny to write.
Something to figure out.
All right. The votes have been cast. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. If you have a hidden immunity idol and you'd like to play it, now would be the last time to do so.
Casey, I'd like to play my instant replay advantage.
This is not a playable advantage.
What?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Good job. You gotta throw everything you can out.
Gosh,
I'll read the votes. First vote, Daddy Matt. Matt. Rachel. Rachel. That's 2 votes Matt, 2 votes Rachel, 1 vote left. Seventh member of our jury. Matt. Matt, the tribe has spoken. Take your torch and head on over to the voting booth.
Amazing game. I look forward to see how this shakes out, guys. Good luck.
I feel a sense of relief. I love playing the game, and you go, and then it's like that death rattle. It's over, and I can be. I don't want to say outside of the game now, but I'm not in the competition. I know I'm part of the jury. I'm really excited for these 4. They've really fought hard to be here. This experience just was more than I imagined. This is not anything I would do in my normal life. I pooped for the first time in the woods. I cooked rice on an open flame. I was in a rainstorm with 12 people. I threw up in the woods. I had a blind side. I don't know. There was just like so many checklist experiences for me. My heart feels really full, and I'm ready to see what happens next.
All right. We do have one more piece of business before you all head out. We need to count your tokens. So go ahead and bring them forward. All right, so we'll go through and count them. But before we count them, I'll tell you what they're for. This was the Final 4 immunity challenge. Whoever has the most coins wins immunity. So Drew, you can go ahead and bring me the immunity necklace.
Oh, yes.
Immunity is back up for grabs. We'll count Tyler's coins first.
Oh,
Tyler has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now Drew's pouch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For John, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we'll count Rachel's. She needs to beat 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Good job, Rachel. Good job, Rachel.
Okay, I don't know.
Congratulations, Rachel. You will have a chance to plead your case against the jury. As for the other 3 of you, one of you will be the final member of our jury. The 4 of you can grab your torches, head on back to camp.
I'm feeling really good. I mean, it's obviously just, being 3 out of 18, it feels amazing. Of course, I would love to take it a step further and get the win. I do think I have a good shot. Like, I've been working through my arguments and trying to anticipate, the negatives or flaws or weaknesses in my game, what they might draw out. And so trying to think of rebuttals or counter arguments to that. I think I have a good shot, but I'm not gonna assume anything. I think this jury isn't just gonna hand it to me. I don't think they're just gonna hand it to anyone. It's a stacked jury with some of the best players I've ever seen, so it's been an honor to play with all of them. They're gonna make us work for it. I hope they're nice when they do, but I'm expecting they're gonna push us, and that's okay. I think that's what you would expect. I think the hardest points are gonna be having to justify those hard votes I made, but I do think they were the correct decision, and it's just gonna be finding a way to stand by my choices, but also show the pain, that it still caused pain even when I knew it was the best thing for my game to get here.
Yeah, Final Four. I am super stoked to be here. Never been to Indiana. I survived the wilderness of Bloomington. Crazy game, crazy competitors. I felt like this was an all-star season. Everyone came play. Big Daddy Matt, finally gone. He was amazing. He was an amazing person to play with, but he was also that cockroach you cannot get rid of. Moving forward in the end game right now, we don't know how it's going to play out. Bloomington's already taken us through a bunch of spin cycles, so we really don't know what's going to happen. Casey's mind is really imaginative, so let's see what happens. But I hope Rachel takes me. I worked with her a lot through this game. I told her I wanted to play this game, get far with her. And yeah, today's her daughter's birthday, and I think this is something great. This is something some people have called her a layup, a GOAT.
And I don't feel like she was any of that. She was basically the swing vote in a lot of these big key decisions. A lot of decisions I didn't make, and I felt like I was being a dictator, but she assured me that she had agency in those because ultimately it was her that flipped it. I did initiate it, she followed up. You know, it takes two to dance. Hopefully game recognizes game. I feel like I played a really, really, really good game. Like socially, I got close in a lot of immunity challenges. I just could not snap that win, but socially, I think I ran the shit out of this game. Being the last original blue here in the Final Four, I think that's something I could pitch. Being on the yellow tribe and cutting off sides with my main alliance people, I feel like I can flip that as well. So I'm hoping tonight, this is the one. I came out here with no return flight. I'm soaked, I'm dirty, and I'm gonna give it my all, and hopefully I get some votes. But if I make it, I'm gonna go out fighting, and hopefully I'll be crowned a winner.
So I was just informed by Rachel that she's voting for me, and Tyler told me that he's voting for me as well. So my only fight that I have left is to get John to vote Tyler with me, and then me and Tyler go to fire making. I have not seen Tyler make fire a single time. I haven't made it while I'm here, but I have past experience. But John said he's leaning towards voting Tyler. He's gonna talk to Rachel and see if there's any chance Rachel would sway. I don't think that's gonna happen, but 2 of the 3 other votes are coming at me. The best I can get is a tie. I have to work with John, get a tie, beat Tyler in fire making, and then if I make it to the end, it's going to be a battle between me, John, and Rachel if I get there. And I genuinely think it's up in the air and any of the 3 of us could win. I'm really upset because I was so loyal to her the whole time and now I'm getting cut. But if I was in her position, I would do the same thing. So I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed that I couldn't manage my threat level better. Casey kind of went wild with making that the final immunity challenge. I'm so proud of Rachel for winning. She did not reveal to any of us how many she had. My only regret so far in this entire game has been spending the round that I was gonna play my keys not looking. But unfortunately, I felt like at that time I had to just sit because I told everyone I was playing 5 keys and that I was unbothered. So that is my only regret, is not going out and finding more of those tokens. But we'll see what happens. I'm so happy for Rachel. If I do get voted out here, if they vote me out 3-1, or if I lose fire, my vote is up in the air between Rachel and John. But I still have a fight to do. I still have to get John to vote with me for Tyler, and that's all I can do. I have 3 steps to win. All I have to do is get John to vote with me, beat Tyler in fire, win Final Tribal.
So I'm so exhausted. The last day and a half have mentally hurt me to the point where I thought I wouldn't be able to come up with this elaborate plan to get myself to Final 3. But yes, here we are. I am exhausted, but more so, I'm excited, and I'm really just working on my Final 3 speech right now. Everybody that I was working it with had me in their plans for the Final 3. This Final 4, everyone has me in their path of going to the Final 3, so I have no worries. Last Tribal was insane in the membrane. We all just are fighters. We're all just really phenomenal players, and because of that, like, we dug deep. The game is about digging deep and finding stuff about you that you didn't think you could do. And I think a lot of the other players like really were like, yeah, I can play this game, but then they came and played their game and they bust their ass. And I'm so proud of every single person here. Like, I truly am amazed by how great these players are. My game was entirely about social relationships and having enough information to keep all those bonds. And if I strike out, I literally couldn't play another game or a better game, because I'm gonna be in the Final 3. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to the end and the end should be Tyler being the sole survivor.
All right, here we are at the final 4 tribal council of this crazy game. Rachel, this is your first time with individual immunity. How did it feel, and what were conversations like back at camp with these 3 guys?
It felt really good to win immunity. I think conversations went, they were bittersweet. They were pretty straightforward. I think we had some good casual conversations, but then the rest of the game was straightforward on who I'd be voting for.
Do you want to fill us in on that?
Rachel told me that she was voting for me.
I think Drew is one of the best players in probably Bloomington history, and I just think Drew has played the most well-rounded game. Even before the last tribal, I was calling him King Drew. Like he's King Drew, and I was thinking assuming he would win next immunity. Like I thought he was going all the way to 3, and I got this when I needed to get it. And in my mind, he's the best player out of the 4 of us, and probably the best in the game right now.
So Drew, how do you respond to that when the person with the necklace is calling you out like that?
I mean, yeah, no. Basically, we each went to Rachel individually and, pitched our cases as to why she should not vote for us. I appreciate the honesty. I think that Rachel and I worked very, very closely throughout the entire game. Like, since the first immunity challenge, we've had each other's backs the entire time. We each know things that the other have said and done that nobody else on the cast knows. And so it was really hard to hear that someone who I've been working so closely with and been so loyal to is, ending that before I would like. But it's a game, and if I was in the position of having individual immunity, I would want to eliminate the person who I perceive to be the best player as well. Am I actually the best player of the 4? That's Rachel's perception. But I can't stop fighting, so I fought for the other 2 to try to force a tie, and we'll see what happens.
If you did have, I'm just curious, if you did have the necklace, who would you perceive as the best player?
That's a good question.
Because back at camp, you told me I was a 0 finalist.
Yeah, I did tell you were a 0 vote finalist, because I think that's what you're going to be if you make it to the end. I don't know. Honestly, I haven't thought about it because the entire round I was fighting for my place. I don't have a good answer for that. I would probably do what Rachel did and talk to each person individually in your cases and then try to run through jury numbers.
So John V, what's your pitch whenever you're talking to Rachel if everyone's going to her individually?
My pitch is, through the latter half of this game, I stuck my neck out a lot. Even though I was working with other people, I worked more closely with Rachel and cut a lot of my own ties. So if anything, I should be taken to the end because I felt like I burned a lot of bridges and I have a lot of explaining to do. And I kept Rachel safe, and Rachel and me have pulled off some crazy tribals, and we needed each other to do it. So I hope that she wants to keep that friendship intact to take you to the end.
But I want to clarify, no one kept me safe. I kept myself safe. I've made my fight here.
Tyler, what's your pitch whenever you're talking to Rachel?
My pitch is just keep.
That's it?
Yeah. I don't think I need to pitch anyone else. Rachel, at the end of the day, would have her mind made up. So, yeah, you can pitch, but if the perception of most of us is there is a clear best winner, because we're all playing the game, we all got here, we know.
So Drew, you mentioned that you're trying to push for some sort of 2-2 tie. What does that look like for you, and how, obviously that's your last ditch effort, but do you think you can win something like that?
Do I think I can win a tiebreaker? I mean, I think I have more likelihood of making it to the final tribal council by going to a tiebreaker than getting voted out. So, I mean, every single person, pre-jury, jury, the four of us sitting here have not stopped fighting. Not a single person gave up at any point, and that's not going to stop now. And regardless of whether I go or one of these two guys goes, the three people sitting here at the end are not going to stop fighting either.
All right, well, we're at that point. If there's anything anybody else would like to say before we go to vote, now is the time.
I think I need to think about what's best for my game. If I'm gonna make it to this final, who do I want to be sitting next to, right? If I do tie it up and you do come back, that just builds your resume more. And you just said Tyler he's a zero vote finalist.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like you just hit something and kind of killed your own pitch. So now I'm sitting here not knowing what to do because I work with all four of y'all, all three of you. Like I'm hoping I get at least a chance. And I think if I do tie it up, I think you are going to be Tyler. I haven't seen Tyler win anything. And if you come back, then I have nothing to pitch. At least I could kind of own a piece of getting the best player out. So I'm just going to openly say I think I'm going to have to vote you.
I understand. I appreciate the honesty.
So Drew, how does that feel?
I mean, it's my own fault for having bad threat management, I guess. I mean, since Rachel told me, I kind of like went through the whole processing because I think all of us were kind of on the same train of thought of we'll kind of follow Rachel's lead. And obviously each of these guys made their own decisions for themselves. And if their perception is that I'm a player that's going to beat them at the end, like I said earlier, I would do the same thing. If I was in their shoes, I would cut the person who I perceived could beat me at the end.
All right. If there's nothing else anyone would like to say, we can go ahead and get to the vote and see how this plays out. We'll start with Rachel and zigzag through.
Oh, wow. That was fast.
See you guys on All Stars. It was a fun one. I'm not bitter at all. I'm interested to see how the end game plays out. Final tribal. Who am I voting?
Not looking for anything. I doubt there's an advantage. Listen, you know what? I'm gonna look for something. You never know. You never know. Like, here's the second idol.
All right. The votes have been cast. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, Tyler. Second vote, Drew. Third vote, Drew. final member of our jury, Drew.
I find it funny that I was called King Drew because the immunity idol for the season was a crown, and it's so funny that I was voted out the round after the last time I could play it.
Drew, the tribe has spoken.
Thanks, guys. I'm glad that everyone was honest with me. I would expect to be voted out whether they told me or not. It was a great game. I played my hardest. I think I played a very strong game, and at the moment, going into Final Tribal Council, I'm 95% locked on who I'll be voting for, but my ears will be open. I'm interested to see how the rest of the jury's feeling, and I gotta come up with some good questions now. You know I'll make a show. I came into this game not thinking that I would be particularly well-rounded or good at any aspect, and coming in and absolutely destroying some of the challenges was something I was not expecting at all. And on top of that, just making all these friends. Like, there's genuinely not a single person here who I will not be texting with on a daily basis and flying across the country to hang out with. So, you know, the game itself is fun, but the people are what are important to me, and I'm so excited to hang out with these people in a non-stressful environment.
With that, you three have voted out one of the strongest competitors in Surviving Bloomington history.
We know.
You are our final three. One of you three will win this game. You'll have a little bit of time to think about what you want to say at Final Tribal. You can grab your torches and head on out.
Oh.
All right, here we are at Final 3 Tribal Council. A huge congratulations to the three of you on making it all the way here. That is not something that is easy to do. We've been through rainstorms, we've been through heat, we've been through blood, we've been through sweat, we've been through tears. So just take a second, congratulate yourself, soak it all in, because you worked hard to be there and you absolutely deserve it, all three of you. This is not the time to be passive. This is the time to fight for your spot. If you are passive right now, you will lose this game. These people do not want to vote for someone who's passive. They want a good winner to represent this season, because I promise you, they want to be sitting where you are sitting right now. And I promise if they could be, they would be fighting their heart out. The three of you have fought your heart out this game. It is time to keep fighting to the bitter end. All right? First, we're gonna do opening speeches. Try to keep them brief, keep your answers succinct. If you ramble, not gonna help. So we'll do opening speeches, then we'll go to the jury, then we'll do closing speeches, and then we'll vote. We'll start with Tyler, opening speeches.
I told y'all how I've been playing the entire game. It was all aware, it was all apparent, and yes, the truth is, which y'all probably already know now, is that yeah, me and John are definitely brothers. I was put in foster care and his mom took me in. So we are brothers. But that doesn't mean that we work together to get here. My number one in this game and my number two who I wanted in this game was Rachel and Danny. Danny, I did not vote for you that time, and we can talk about everything later, but I'm telling you, I'm going to be completely honest about my entire game. Every single person here at least thought I was their number one. But for me, I can't make everybody my number one. So I had to continuously put the pieces of the puzzle together, give y'all enough information to put me here. I also just think John made a fatal mistake when you came up to me and reiterated like, oh, I know you two are brothers. And I knew you had to go at that time. But again, we can speak and talk about it, and I'm be open and honest with everybody. But just to let y'all know, if I got here, it's because I earned my spot, not because I had relationships.
Rachel, you're up.
Statistically in Survivor, if you have one female next to two males at the final tribal council, she's not going to get votes. I'm hoping we can break that statistic tonight, not just for the sake of breaking the statistic, because I intend to plan or to show you guys how I was playing the game since day one, right from the beginning we got to camp. I think that there was a belief from pretty early on that I was a weaker player, that I was someone that you could, we'll keep Rachel for a vote. She's paranoid, we'll keep her, we can get her a vote. She'll do what we want because she doesn't have any options, she doesn't have any agency. She's not really playing as strong as a game as others. So that perception of being dragged along wasn't my favorite, but I needed that perception. I was fine with letting these alpha males thinking they were running the show, because the moment I come and start calling shots and trying to control the votes, then I'm all drama, I'm all gossip, I'm manipulative, conniving. So I had to be very particular about when I finally decided to make the moves I did to make sure that I got here to the end, and that when I did get here, I wasn't a goat, but I was going to be the winner.
All right, John V, you're up.
So, yeah, Tyler is my brother. Even though he did come from foster home, I consider that's my brother. We didn't come here working together. My number one I wanted for the whole game was either Mackenzie or Brady. That's who I wanted to go to the end with. And then Rachel playing, eventually she became my number one. But I wanted Rachel just as an extra number at first. I had a lot of relationships with people. I know some people watched the show I was on. Some people knew someone I knew. But I think that speaks to my game in general, that I had all these people and all these relationships, and I utilized what I could from each and every one, and I cut ties when I had to. And when it came to like original Blue sticking together, I started making moves where I didn't want tribal lines to be the sole purpose of this is your alliance. So when I got on yellow with Rachel, I saw it as an opportunity to kind of blend those tribal lines. So everyone that I backstabbed, I'm sorry I did it, but I did it because I was looking at my end game. And I was playing out 101 factors. Like, this could go this way, this could go this way. And I don't want anyone to have my fate in their hands. I want to have my own fate in my hands. And that's why some of you guys are here.
All right. Very strong opening speeches. Do not stop now. Keep going. And now it is time for the jury question phase of Final Tribal Council. Whoever's going first, you can go ahead and step up.
All right, guys. You know I take this game very seriously. You've gotten to know me over the past 4 days, so I do have questions. They may not be super comfortable questions, but my vote for the winner depends on the answers to these questions. To start, Tyler, first of all, I want to publicly apologize for calling you both in camp and at Tribal Council a 0-vote finalist. The game is not over, and doing that I think was absolutely uncalled for. I said it out of bitterness when we said it at camp, because you had just told me that you were voting me out, and reiterating it at Tribal was my building frustration, and that is something I completely own. That out of the way,
I'm ready for it.
Your social game was questionable at best, I feel. You got into multiple fights with people. You threw multiple people under the bus multiple times, including myself, and then the next round would approach them and expect everything to be totally okay, and then would get upset with people when they didn't immediately trust you back. I know this from personal experience because you did it with me. You left me out of the Mackenzie vote, and then the next round expected everything to be okay, expecting us to keep a final 2 that I knew you were never going to keep with me. So can you defend your social game in any capacity? Because I take social game very seriously as a social player.
My original 6 that I wanted to go to the end with was me, Rachel, Danny, you, Brady, John. That's who I really wanted to go to the final 6 with.
Then why did you throw us under the bus? You threw Brady under the bus multiple times. You threw me under the bus multiple times.
I threw Brady under the bus once I had suspicion that I couldn't trust her. I threw you under the bus because I tried to protect you. Each and every time, again, you can ask and I'll explain it. Each and every time that I made a decision to try to get us 6 there, it was either something went awry, like John voting Danny out, or it was Brady being upset at me. So I had to do whatever I had to do just to get those numbers here, and I tried my best doing it.
Okay. John, I have a statement and a question for you as well. First, you cannot claim the Danny vote out as your own because you did not vote for Danny in the first round. I threw a vote on Danny because Danny was the person who I had talked to the least in that round. Danny was not in the core 5 that I was extremely loyal to, which included me, the 3 of you, and Mackenzie. And I had deals with other people. I was not going to take out Brady. I knew Matt had some sort of advantage. I threw a vote on Danny because I pushed for Danny in that round. You cannot claim that move as yours because you could not have voted for Danny to be eliminated if I did not. I don't need a response from that. I just need to clarify that. So my question for you...
So my statement was, I didn't say I planned that. Once I saw that Danny had a vote, I switched mine to Danny because my initial one was Brady, because just like you, I had suspicions from Calm Cool Collective Daddy Matt that he was going to play something. And when he did play something and I saw Danny's name, I just threw Brady's name as an extra name. Once I saw Danny's name, I said someone else is thinking like me. And that's when I took my shot at Danny. Yeah, so I'm going to put my name a part of that vote.
You voted for Danny because I made the move.
I put a move on Brady. If Brady would have had the vote, then that would have been Brady's vote. I saw Danny, so I made the move, yes.
I don't agree.
Okay, that's fine.
The next thing that I have to say is a concern. It's going to be uncomfortable. There are multiple people on the jury who have informed me that you reached out to them on social media pre-game and talked to them about working together in game. And I would like to hear from you about what that entailed from your end.
So when the cast was revealed, I reached out to some people and I said, I want to work with you. There was no game plan. Most of them that replied to me, well, I could say who replied to me. I spoke to Rachel for a second and I said the best thing we should do is unfollow each other on social media, because the rest of the cast is probably going to look for connections as well and look at who you're following. So I said, Rachel, you're playing this game, I'm playing this game, let's work together. Planted that seed, unfollowed. Tyler, oh, I didn't know he got casted. We both applied and he got casted, I got casted, unfollowed me from Instagram. The only one I had constant communication with, honestly, was Mackenzie and Brady, and not even talking game with Mackenzie at all. It was like, we're friends, you're playing the game, you know I got you. Yes, I'm gonna take every advantage I can in the game of Survivor. The only person who I talked to on the way up to the game was probably Brady, and it was more in context of something we're gonna do later on, not this game.
Okay, Rachel, my concern for voting for you is that from my experience with you, I was very loyal to you. I feel that there were multiple points in the game where had I not been proactive, you would have easily been the vote. And I don't think by any means I carried you. I just would like to know about your strategic game, because I feel like out of the two of us being very close, I carried a lot of the strategy. I did not carry you through the game. You held your own, but I would love to hear more about your strategic game.
For me, it's two-part. I think that a lot of the times it looked like I was in danger of going home, but it was clear that I was the decoy.
Sure.
And as much as that ticked me off, it still got me to this. So there were points where I think people thought they saved me, or they're like, I got you, you can trust me, you're not going home. And it's like, yeah, I know I'm not going home because I'm the decoy, and I have these relationships with the people that are going to not vote for me. Like, I was never really going home. Yes, there was that panic, anxiousness, paranoia, like it could still be me, because you never know until you get here. And especially in this post-merge with all the advantages and things being played, there's always a risk. So it's still a vulnerable position to be the decoy. But I knew the only way I was actually going home with like a lot of things were being played. So I don't see it as you were really truly saving me. I put a lot of weight in my connections that I had with the two people standing next to me or sitting next to me and other people that are now on the jury. I knew they were never going to vote for me. So it wasn't just you that was like, I feel like I had you and others kind of in my control because of the social game I've played.
All three of you, I just want to say congratulations. I know I've been very stern.
No, I love it. Bring it.
But I do genuinely love all three of you. I just needed to get that information. I'm undecided on my vote, but genuinely congratulations, and I cannot wait to hang out with all three of you.
All right, next, Kim, you're up.
Congratulations. This has been a weekend, like, so much has happened. So alliances are really important. Each of you have demonstrated strong alliances to get to this point and built trust amongst other people to get here. No one else brought you each to this point. But to get to this point, you also have had to, maybe do some things that have not been easy, like lie or write someone's name down. And I'd like an example of a time that you built a relationship with someone who's on the jury and then had to just lie or write their name down, and how you tried to repair that.
Jamie, I tried to work with you, but the lines couldn't work. And I tried my hardest. I did. I really, really did. But I tried to repair the situation was telling every single person, like, Jamie's gonna come back and win because Jamie has enough votes. Jamie has enough advantages, and Jamie's gonna be the one here. And then at that point, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to work with Jamie. But again, I tried to save you. I really, really did, to not be the second vote on that vote out.
Mackenzie is obviously the vote out that weighs on me the most out of all of you. It literally made me sick to my stomach for very, very many reasons. The top reason is when I know we both felt like Kim was our number one, because again, Kim's so good. So like, I was like, what do you mean she's your number one? She's my number one. But when Kim made,
by the way.
Yeah, no,
Mine.
no. So when Kim made that decision, we both said we've got to have Kim's spirit. We've got to stick together. I was always intimidated by you from day one. I knew that you were probably just running the things at your camp before we met, and I knew that once I got with you, if I was, you were gonna run things again. I think that your I think you're one of the best players in this cast, but I knew that I had at some point to get you out because you would beat me, and I hated that. And so when John and Tyler pitched your name, I was gonna have to be the swing vote for that. I still hated it, and I still cracked. If you remember, I cracked and I said, I think it's you, because part of me didn't want to play the selfish game just to get to the end. And but you trusted John so much that you couldn't really comprehend it. The other thing that made it difficult was on that rainy day, I felt like you were more interested in talking to John or Tyler and maybe other people than you were to me. And so I felt like we aren't really working on this together, and that's even more reason why I can't take you to the end, because you'll be able to say you ran it, which you would have been correct.
All right, when it comes to building relationships, I feel like the majority of the people on this jury, except for you, I have not met you in the game. I've heard great things. We just never crossed paths. I feel like I definitely had a connection with everyone on here, probably the least with Danny. Danny's relationship with me was kind of doing whatever they had with Tyler, and I was trying to be a part of it. But I feel like I try to be genuine and just personable with every single one of you that was here. I came in not knowing Drew, but Drew gave me like good vibes. They wanted to work with me, so spoke with them, and I just made it real, because it was real to me. Every alliance was real to me. Every relationship was real. I can't comment on how I try to fix something, because every relationship was so real that when it was time for me to go against them, there was no coming back. So like my thing is, yeah, I did lie to some of you, but I lied to you once, and that one lie was the lie that I was going to vote you out. The only person who I didn't lie to when I was going to vote out was Drew. That was the last vote, Final Four. I said openly in tribal, I'm going to vote you out, because it doesn't make sense to take you to the end, because I think you were the best player this season.
Matt, you're up.
Congratulations, you three. Game well played. At the beginning of this game, we learned that the season had a theme. It was order versus chaos. And all three of you were assigned one of those traits. I'm curious to know if you feel like you embody that trait, and if so, how did you use that part of yourself to help further your game?
We'll start with John.
So, I think I spoke in our camp personally, like my own personal journey. Like, I was really chaotic. I told you all, like, I dropped out of high school, I had a child out of wedlock, I was in a motorcycle gang, and then I changed my life around and I went to college. So I felt like I was orderly, but I always knew I had some chaos in me. And I wanted to come in this game, and I wanted to kind of go back and be chaotic in an environment where I can be chaotic and basically use it to succeed. So I kind of went back to old John. I played a little chaotic. I definitely was not orderly at all this season. I came in here wanting to be chaos, and I believe I was chaos.
I think I was orderly in the way that my decisions were calculated throughout the game. At home, I have to maintain order, and I often say I'm chaos coordinator because I have 3 wildling children. And so since I'm always the one maintaining order at home and like teaching good and teaching to be selfless and all these like good, orderly, moral traits, then to come here where I can just not be responsible for 3 little humans, and I have to then go against like what I do all day and say, actually, the chaotic thing is to only work for yourself. And when you start only thinking of yourself, you have to make these chaotic decisions that are going to get you to the top, and that's all that matters. And that's like so against what I get to do every day, but I hope that answers your question. If not, I can expand.
Orderly for me, I think, is relatively simple in the way that I kind of looked at the game as like just like in a way like puzzle pieces, and giving enough people enough information to make sure that nothing came back to me negatively, or nothing came back to me to where I can't position myself here today. And so I think in that way, orderly, I gave enough information to everybody to not want to vote my name down until they had to. And they only had to towards the end.
All right, thank you, Matt. Danny, you're up.
First off, I want to say a massive congratulations to all 3 of you for making it here.
This was extremely difficult, and each of you have earned your spot at that final tribal council. So I'll keep it quick. Rachel, we met on day 1 on the Chaos Tribe, and you came in. I felt like you undersold yourself. You weren't really listing a lot of your strengths, and I want to give you a chance now to redo that list and tell us what your strengths are now that you're sitting here at the end of the game. And you can be as candid as possible, girl, because the person I saw in our one-on-ones is the person I want you to show to everybody else. So have this moment.
Day 1, Red Tribe. You all are making the tents and like getting the fire thing sorted. I'm hunting for something because I know it's out there. I don't know what it is, but I'm going for it. Red Tribe, that big trunk near the fire pit, kind of diagonal. You guys are literally all around. Talk about chaotic. I find it and I see it. And I just grab it and shove up my shirt and pull down keep my pants up, but shove it in my pants. So from day 1, I undersold myself because I didn't want people to know that I was gonna get here. And then I found a second one shortly after. So immediately, like, Red Tribe didn't even know there were things to find because I found them all. A lot of them didn't know there was anything going on until swaps happened and it was getting picked up. I think I had so many people tell me that you're the one I can really trust. And I think that speaks to how I can genuinely connect with people and build relationships, but it also speaks to my social game. I think that it speaks to how hard I've played, that I also found advantages at Yellow Camp. It may look like John saved me from getting voted out in the Yellow Tribes, but he didn't. He couldn't do anything unless I gave him my key that I found that I worked for. With my key, and I gave up power to give up that key, but I also gained power because I secured my spot through 2 Yellow Tribals and then through Merge.
I'm very proud of the game that I played. I accomplished the goals that I wanted to here. It was not about winning for me, and that's something that I communicated to you, John, and to you, Tyler, many, many times. It was not about winning for me, it was about having an experience, and for me challenging myself. So I hope, regardless of if you win tonight or not, that you feel like you accomplished the things that you set for yourself and that you had goals outside of winning. John, one of the things that I felt like I did in this game was actually filling a role that I live in my everyday life. I felt like in a lot of ways I was actually a therapist to you. And what I mean by that is I was beyond loyal to you all the time throughout the game. And I felt like in a lot of points in the game you were very paranoid, and you came to me for comfort and reassurance time and time and time again, beyond the level of what a General Alliance member does and should need. And I gave that to you every single time. And to be honest, I am a little frustrated to hear you describe the relationship with not just me, but with many other people that you talk about as just being one where it's just like, oh, I just let that go, or be one that I can just let go of just for my game as being one of strategy. But I'll talk for the one of me. When I was voted out, I was very loyal to you and constantly loyal to you throughout the game. And you knew that winning was not everything for me. And honestly, when I was voted out, I was okay with it. I was ready to go. And I did feel like it was a little mean-spirited to tell me that not only were you with me, but you were with me to the level that you would even play like an extra vote to make sure that Rachel is going, to just make sure that she's going. So I wonder both why you would go that extra step to do that, and also as an extra point to that question, did I ever really matter to you beyond just like an extra piece to your chessboard?
So you definitely did matter. Everyone I made a relationship with here, you all matter to me. Every time I had to write your name or be a part of it, it did hurt me. But I was playing for me. I came in this game and I will honestly say I was playing really selfish. I wanted to get here. I wanted to make relationships, and if it was time for me to make a move, I wanted to make it. Before you got eliminated, everything I told you was true. I was never against you. When you came back, I was thinking maybe you have a better story. Maybe I should cut ties with you. You were there for me a lot, like you said. You were a therapist for me. You were someone that I can confide in, and I never felt like you wanted to take me out. I couldn't say that about the other people I had relationships with because I felt like they were real big time gamers who would see that as a weakness and say, John's paranoid, maybe we should get him. So you gave me that confidence to come to you. The relationship I have with you is a real one. Whether I get your vote or not, it was a real one. It wasn't a game of chess, it's a game of Survivor. So I have to cut everyone at some point. There's only one winner and there's 17 losers. So my game was make these relationships, but be able to be strong enough to when you have to become chaotic, to become chaotic. And I think I did that. And everything we had was real, and vote for me or not, I still hope we stay in touch because you were a great ally and someone I feel I can talk to all the time.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. If you guys could answer in like a very succinct way. I'm going to start off by saying I'm not like a bitter jury member. Like, Tyler, you're not out of it for me. I know you didn't raise your hand. You're not out of it. I came in here thinking I was going to vote for you. I will be honest, Rachel is swaying me quite a bit, but you're not out of it, so please don't give up. John, I don't really have a question, but I do want to confirm to the jury, you absolutely did strategize with me before the game. You had said you wanted to go to the end with me, and you had said you wanted to work with Brady and be in the final three. And I also want to say, like, as a person who really likes rules and likes games, but also, like, I have a hard time, like, lying to friends or, like, telling friends no. I, like, did not agree to these things straight up. I said, like, maybe, or, like, we'll see. It also depends on what tribes we start on. I tried to, like, avoid that conversation. I would have respected way more if that happened in-game and you betrayed me. Fine, that's great. Rachel backstabbed me. If you would have came to me at Merge and said, like, hey, like, I know what I had told you before game, but I think, like, right now it would be, like, in our best interest to play our most individualistic games, I would have respected the hell out of that, and you would maybe have my vote. But I know that you did the same with a couple other people.
So I did not do the same with a couple of people, and we never strategized about anything specific. I was just saying I wanted to work with you. We never said this is what we're gonna do exactly, this is how we're gonna play it. I just had to keep telling you I wanted to play with you because I did want to play with you. I wanted to play a loyal game with you. But there was no hardcore strategizing, so I don't understand what part you don't respect. And then the part you're saying, I should have told you we're gonna play the best individual game. Once we got in the game, it doesn't matter what was said a couple of months or a couple of weeks before the game started. Everything that happened there can change in the drop of a dime. There was nothing about let's work with this person from text message or anything. So you could pull up those receipts and tell me exactly what I said because there was no in-depth strategy.
Well, I just want to clarify really quickly. Obviously, I'm your brother. Obviously, you spoke to me and you told me who we should work with. And I told you that we should just go in there and have it be a fluid game.
And did you work with Rachel because of me? No, you worked with Rachel because of yourself.
Exactly.
No, he worked with me because that's what I wanted, and that's the relationship I built.
All right, so that had nothing to do with me saying who was in the game.
Yeah,
you mentioned
also
Danny to me.
So
what are you saying about that? Like that has nothing to do with anything.
I never said that I denied any of that.
All right.
You're the one denying it. But hold on,
I'm not denying it. I said my statement was.
John, can I finish, please?
No, because it's actually my turn to answer. So
but you answered. I just wanted to clarify things.
What are you trying to clarify?
So
you're trying to clarify what? Because you did the same thing.
You said that you didn't want to talk strategy and anything.
Did I talk strategy with you? Did I vote out? Where was there any strategy? This is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna line people up and get them out. It was none of that. It was
was.
me planting seeds to have people that I could build a relationship with, and then when I had to cut ties, I cut ties.
I guess just on a human level, I feel like the game starts when the game starts. And to me, I feel like manipulated in real life because you were my friend and you had told me something. And I trusted Tyler because I trusted you. And that was a bad move for my game. And I that's my fault for like,
And
it feels bad to hear that, like, you know.
And I understand that. And that's why I said I didn't have real relationships with everyone. And I apologize because I came in this game wanting to play selfish. Yes, I did. And I apologize if I actually hurt you because that's not wrong. I want us to still be friends. I just came in this game and was like, if I have any advantage or opportunity, I'm going to use it to get myself far. And that's what I
would
try
have
to
been
do.
fine if you did that once the game started. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I just figured, to me, why I even reached out is once it went public, I'm looking at everyone's profile. Some people are gamers. Some people have played many games. I'm like, people come into these games and they use their past relationships. Every game I came into before this game, I've always been an early exit, or I've been fighting because everyone knew each other. You played this LRG with this person hooked up and had a showmance. So I said, you know what, this is my time. I'm gonna take these relationships and I'm gonna use them to my advantage. And I'm sorry I did that to you, but that's why I did it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was gonna be a really nasty bitch, but I'm just gonna like honestly just be nice. I'm in my congenial era now, my classy era. But in all seriousness, like Mackenzie kind of covered a lot of the things that I wanted to say. I respect all three of you on a personal level. I think you all are great people. I don't have any ill will towards any of you. Game-wise, do I agree with some of the moves that were made? No. Do most of the jurors? Not really, but I also do feel like that, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game, and I get it. I don't really want to hear, like, the Olsen twin bickering, and I don't want to hear, like, any of the whole, like, fighting and any of the things, like, that's my gig. But I do want to say that I do love all of you. I have nothing but love for all three of you, and I mean that. But my question for you guys, I don't want any explanation to this because I just want to leave, like, everyone wondering. I want you to rank every single juror from the one you like to work with the most to the one you like to work with the least. No explanation, just a list of names.
Kim, Mackenzie, Danny, Drew, Brady, Little Matt, Big Matt, Jimmy.
I guess I'm Danny, Kim, Drew, you, Matt, Mackenzie, Jamie, and Lydia.
All right, so Mackenzie, you, Jamie, Little Matt, Drew, Big Matt, Danny. I never met you, so you're good.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys. I had such a fun weekend, like $750 well spent. You got another sugar daddy, you know the vibe. No, but I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, guys, I had so much fun. We're all gonna stay in touch. You know I love all of you guys, and let the best player win.
Thank you, Brady. Big Matt, you're up. Last but not least.
Hey y'all, congratulations on making Final 3 in this game with so many twists and turns. I'm really proud of each of you, and I can't wait to hear your answers. So I've heard that this game in Survivor, perception is everything, and it really is. And I like had my perception of things, and like there was really like all this other stuff going on. So it's just funny to me. So I'm gonna tell you my perception of you at the beginning and how I think it is now from what I heard. I just like you to tell me like how accurate that is. All right, you can fill in any gaps for me. I'll go Tyler, John, Rachel, and then I'm just gonna say it, and then I'll have you guys reply in that order.
Tyler, at the beginning of the game, I thought you were just like the person that said, "We're good, bro. We're good. We're good. We're cool. We're cool." With no I'd call it like a splat game. You were just saying yes to everybody. But now my perception is that you were using your eyes a lot, observing, and I picture a switchboards of truth and lies. Like, I'm gonna tell the truth to this person, truth to this person, lie, truth. That's my perception now. John, when we entered this game, I saw you as someone that played with their heart, their soul, blood, sweat, tears, and now I see that, and I had this feeling that like I was impressed that like often I thought the tribe was going to go one way, and whenever you felt like it should go a different way, you were able to switch it. So you were able to use your relationships to switch votes that you needed to happen versus maybe what the group wanted to happen. That's my perception now. And then Rachel, I kind of said this to you early on, that like I thought at first you were playing from a place of weakness, where you're like, oh, I can't change the vote, and I was like, no, you can change it. And now my perception is like you were kind of just like letting things, I don't know, the surface kind of go, and then so you really knew how things would go, so you didn't have to like do these power plays, and then at the end of the game, it just kind of like exponentially went up. So again, is my new perception correct, or filling any holes for me?
So I think your perception of me is correct, and I think I mentioned it earlier about I had to just continue to garner information and use the puzzle pieces of that information to make this puzzle work with someone, to make that puzzle work with someone. And once I was able to do that, then I can figure out who I can move further with. And no one knew that Rachel was my number one the entire time. Not a single soul. You didn't even know. You perceived me, Drew, and Brady as the top three, but it was me, Rach, the whole entire time. It was me, Rach, and anybody else. So that's just the honest truth. And I want you to just, I don't want to necessarily say that your perception of John is necessarily wrong or right, but I truly believe that John doesn't get here without me.
All right, John.
So I think your perception is correct. Definitely blood, sweat, and tears, and I think that's what helped me use my social game to manipulate things a certain way, especially early on in our tribe when Riley was supposed to go home first. I moved that because I saw Nina as being someone who could be here or actually be here, and I wanted to maneuver everything that way, and I fought for someone who I wasn't even working with. So I believe your original perception of me co-aligns with your end game perception of how I played.
Rachel.
I think I respect your perception, so, but I think if I was going to amend anything, I would say rather than playing from like a point of like weakness, I think I was playing a strong under the radar game the entire time, and I worked so hard. I know social game is my top strength, building relationships with people. I know that I'm not a challenge beast, but I guess I am now. And so I know what my strengths are. So I played the strong under the radar game so that when you said that exponential, I had my relationships in place so that I could effectively make the visible moves that I knew the jury would want to see if I was going to win this game.
Thank you. Good luck, all three of you.
Thank you.
Jury, I want to remind you that you are voting for a winner. The person you vote for is who you want to win this game. All right? So we'll start with Kim, and we'll zigzag through.
One last time, y'all. You already know.
All right. The votes have been cast. They are in. before we get to that, I do want to offer a huge, huge, huge thank you to this cast, both pre-merge, jury, and finalists. This was an amazing season. You all gave us some awesome content that I'm so excited to pour through and put together another YouTube series and show people what surviving Bloomington is actually like. And I want to have a big thank you to the crew who was This could not happen without them. There's no way I could have done all of this just by myself, running back and forth from these woods. So thank all of you seriously so much. This would not be possible without you. And with that, it is time to get to the vote. There is a winner inside of this urn. We will have our 6th winner of Surviving Bloomington. I'll read the votes. First vote, John.
I can't wait to have a drink with you. I respect your game and you as a person so much.
Second vote, Rachel.
Everything you said during that was exactly what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear the moves you were a part of. I wanted to hear the game you were playing. I wanted to hear anything but that you were coasting or hiding behind anyone. And you explained your game perfectly, and I respect the shit out of it, and I hope you win.
Third vote, Rachel.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she's most definitely the moment.
Fourth vote, Rachel.
Girl, I am so proud of you. I literally voted for you every single tribal council since I re-entered the game. It is only fitting that I vote for you to win. You really killed it, and I would be so honored if you won this season. Yeah, I hope you get the crown, and honestly, amazing winner.
Rachel.
Coming into this game, you made it a point to not really list a lot of your strengths, but now I get to say that you get to add Soul Survivor to the list of your strengths. Rachel, you played a phenomenal game, and I'm so glad that other people got to see the game that you were playing. I want to take this moment to say a huge shout out to Eliza, Oliver, and Addie, Rachel's children, for prepping her for this game. I hope you are proud of your mom, and I hope you guys are all watching as she gets crowned Queen Rachel and winner of Season 6.
Happy birthday, Eliza. You are finally 4. I miss you so much, and I cannot wait to celebrate you. And then Addie, I know you trained me to get to day 2, but you were just such a good trainer. You got me all the way to day 4. You got me all the way to final 3. And I think you got me all the way to get the win. And Oliver, Bubby, I know you miss me so much. I know you were hoping I would come back early. And I'm sorry I probably disappointed you, but I can't wait to snuggle you and get home.
here surviving Bloomington Season 6, Order vs. Chaos, Rachel.
Thanks for making it so fun.
Me too, yeah.
Did you write Rachel also?
No, it was I put Queen Rachel. Yeah, I coined that.
I know.
Yeah, you did.
Can we show whose sources we got?
Right on. Love it. Love it.
Did you listen to Jeff Rose podcast by any chance?
Yeah, just because I want.
That's why we needed help.
Listen, Danny can say 84 versus a half and literally last
Yeah.
night. Legit.
Yeah.
Ooh, I appreciate it.
That was so fun.
Oh, honey, I'm coming home. I'll let you guys go, but I love you. I'm coming home. Love you, babe. I'll see you.
Oh wait, what, Caleb?
I think he just has to go. I think.
Okay.
Well, we're supposed to. Hi.
Rachel.
Thank you.
Congrats, Rachel.
Oh, thank you. Guys.
She did it.
I did.
Rachel, that is how you do final tribal.
Oh, it's Justin.
Yeah,
Hi, Justin.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. Right. Thanks so much. Okay. Yeah. Oh man.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Killed it. Heather, congratulations. Thank you. When I'm home, we're gonna hoop, right?
Yeah, of course.
Welcome to second place. I will. I got second.
Where's the pizza?
Oh, right there.
Can we have some?
The game anymore?
This guy right here, though. This guy right here. Every time I say something witty and you laugh, I have to say it right there. The highest place.
Can we have
game
some?
anymore? Yeah.
Oh, meat lover. No, not meat lover.
This guy right here.